Thank you so much for joining us today. We're happy to have you join us, and we're here to talk about, is it time to optimize your MDM? And specifically how like-for-like upgrades might be holding you back from achieving the goals that you have with your MDM or EMPI solution. You know, we all know people who always buy the same make and model and color of car when they go shopping for a car, or people who always seem to walk away from the salon with the exact same haircut every time, or even people that order the exact same meal no matter what restaurant they go to. By not exploring the different options that are out there, many people don't realize the benefits that they're actually missing out on. And when we talk about MDM, it's really common for our clients to choose a like-for-like upgrade, where they simply say, just move me up to the next version. I want to keep things the same as they are. But there might be some opportunities that you're missing out on, specifically new features or some ways of optimizing and enhancing your environment so that it performs better. Our panelists today are here to talk to you about optimizing your MDM. It's not just about upgrading, but optimizing your MDM solutions to make sure that you're getting the most out of the investment that you've made. So let's meet our panelists today. Today we're going to be joined by Jim Dafnis, the Director of Account Management at IMT. Jim's been part of the IMT family for over 20 years, working with a large number of different clients across a variety of industry segments. His experience spans from software development and technical consulting to also serving as a solution architect, as well as overseeing IMT's professional services. In Jim's current role, it allows him to use his technical skills and business experience to build lasting relationships with IMT's clients. Also, we have a special guest with us today, Lorraine Fernandes. Lorraine Fernandes is the principal and founder of Fernandes Healthcare Insights. Lorraine's an award-winning international and domestic thought leader, accomplished author, and respected public speaker on topics related to technology's role in healthcare transformation. Lorraine is currently the president-elect for IFEMA, the International Federation of Health Information Management Associations. Also with us today, we have Corinne Blair. She's an IMT industry consultant with over 28 years of experience in information technology, with 26 of those in health IT within Canada. In the last 13 years, Corinne's been highly focused on the implementation of MDM solutions, as well as working closely with health information management teams to deploy their identity management solutions and improve business values. And I'm Tyson Carter. I'm the Manager of Client Education and Communications here at IMT USA. For the past 10 years, starting at Initiate and then at IBM and then moving to IMT, my primary responsibility has remained spreading the word about IBM InfoSphere MDM and enabling our clients and partners to make the most of their MDM solutions. Again, as we go through the session today, if you do have any questions, please use the chat window. By using that chat window, that'll allow us to look at the questions and review them, and then we'll answer them at the end of today's session. So feel free to type questions in as they come up throughout the presentation. That being said, let's take a quick look at today's agenda. So I'm going to start off by delivering a simple introduction to IMT for those of you that are new to the IMT family. From there, Lorraine's going to talk about the future of your data and give us some insights in kind of the buzz of what's going on in the industries. From there, Jim's going to discuss MDM upgrade options. Corinne will talk about IMT's optimization services. And then we'll wrap things up with some questions as well as talking about some next steps. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass things over to Lorraine. Let's talk about IMT here a little bit. So first off, we strive just to be one thing here at IMT. We strive to be identity solutions experts. Now, what that really means is, from the identity perspective, we've built our company with a focused niche of building solutions that solve identity challenges, so specifically related to critical business identities. We help our clients discover the connections between their data by leveraging innovative and industry-leading technologies and methodologies. But we're a small, agile team, and we work hard to stay on top of current trends in the identity-related issues as well as other innovations. Now, when it comes to the solution side, we solve identity challenges that our clients face across several industries. We primarily support healthcare, with that being providers, payers, but we also do work in life sciences, telecommunications, and government. We deliver solutions that leverage the power of having a 360-degree view of your customer, your patient, your provider, your members, your citizens, really understanding the 360-degree view of people. And finally, we're experts. IMT has been recognized as a global leader in Enterprise Master Patient Index as well as MDM solutions and extending those solutions. We've proven our value with over 100 referenceable projects where we've focused on creating end-to-end solutions that maximize the return on your investment. And we leverage what we learn with one client to further innovate and share with other clients by creating better best practices throughout the industries. Now, a little bit more on the history of IMT. We were incorporated in 1991, formed by a group of scientists from the Canadian National Research Council in Winnipeg, Manitoba. We also are incorporated in the U.S., and we have a team of a little more than 35 people. We just added 2 new people in the last 2 weeks, and located mostly in Winnipeg and in Chicago. But we also have staff in New York, Toronto, Des Moines, Iowa, and near Edmonton, Alberta. We're a premier IBM business partner in the information integration and governance space, and we hold IBM industry certifications in healthcare and life sciences. And we also have the capability certification for master data management. Beyond IBM, we also partner with Allscripts. We work together to provide identity solutions that enable population health and healthcare analytics use cases with them. We've also partnered with ForCare, a Dutch company that leads the industry in creating IHE-compliant cross-enterprise document sharing platforms. And we're actively involved in research with the Canadian National Research Council IRAP program, where we do research with big data as well as looking at infectious diseases. And we support our community through outreach and fundraising for the St. Amant Center for Autism and Developmental Disabilities in Winnipeg. Now, that being said, let's take a move over to talk with Lorraine about the future of your data.
Thank you, Tyson, and good morning or good afternoon to everyone here. As you see, what I'm going to share with you in the next few slides in 5 or 10 minutes is to really put in perspective the future of your data. Many of you on the phone with us today have been customers of IMT or IBM for 5, maybe 10, maybe even more years. And in that period of time, there's been tremendous change in every industry, whether it's healthcare, government, retail, telco. Every industry has undergone tremendous change, and I think we will see even faster change and more change in the decade that's coming upon us. I think the common thread that I'm sharing with you, as you see in this slide here, is that irrespective of the industry you represent today, certainly tomorrow you may work in a different industry, but for today, what you highlight here is the customer experience, the centricity that we're trying to create, irrespective of the industry. We want to know who our customer is, patient, provider, member, guarantor. We want to make sure that they have a great customer experience, and we want to use that customer data, as you see in the quote at the bottom, for analytics in order to enlighten the service delivery we're doing with the customer, the services we are designing for the customer, and perhaps even consumer engagement. Again, across every industry, you're trying to get closer to your customer irrespective of how you define customer, and make sure that you're delivering high-value, trusted information in that experience. So you might be doing that in marketing through cross-sell and upsell. You might be doing that, as I said, through consumer engagement. I'm certainly seeing research organizations, whether it's public sector or life sciences, caring a great deal about creating that single view, that holistic view of customer. And then last but certainly not least, population health. You might say it's the rage in healthcare and government today, so that we're in fact delivering the right care at the right time in the most efficient and effective manner for the population in order to create wellness and not just continue the practices that have been in the past. And as the next slide shows you, and Tyson, thank you for advancing to here, I talk a little bit about disruption and innovation, and we did that in a blog I wrote about 2 weeks ago, if you want to reference that. But we're certainly seeing disruption and innovation, again, in every vertical that I work with these days. The days of incremental, slow change, I think, are historical. And certainly if you hail from the U.S. or Canada or any place probably halfway close to us around the globe, you know, yesterday was election day in the U.S., and disruption clearly won the day in the election. We'll leave our comments at that. And you see also in this page the quotes I've shared with you. While the bottom quote talks about the plethora of identifiers that in the U.S. we see in defense, in veterans, and in the insurance companies, that quote really could be written by almost any industry in any country, because there are so many identifiers, and even in the countries that have a supposed single citizen identifier, they have their own unique set of challenges. So my point in sharing these quotes with you is to make sure you think about the future of your data as you contemplate an upgrade. Think about optimizing your environment, which Jim and Corinne are going to talk to you about. Think about the trends you're facing today and what you're going to face tomorrow, that customer-centric experience, the analytics, how your data is being used today as opposed to 5 or 10 years ago. And perhaps coin the phrase, is your data fit for purpose today, tomorrow, and the next 2 or 3 years after your upgrade? Because as many of you on the line know, an upgrade typically happens 2, 3, 4 years. So think about today, but plan for tomorrow. And in the midst of all of thinking about how industries have changed, how your own environment has changed, and who your stakeholders are today versus what they were 5 or 10 years ago, you also have to consider the volume of data and the velocity or the speed of the data that you're working with today. You'll see in the quote here around healthcare, it talks about there's going to be almost 100% growth in healthcare over a mere 2 years. And almost every industry is experiencing this type of growth in their data, both structured data and unstructured data. And while today in your EMPI or MDM environment, you may be focusing on that structured data in the various fields you manage, it could well be tomorrow you're going to use that unstructured data to really enlighten that customer experience and to create that consumer-centric view. Perhaps you're going to add new data elements as you begin to contemplate your upgrade and address your broader stakeholder community. So as the next slide shows you, I just wanted to ponder for a moment where in the data is the customer, because there are so many challenges around the data and the customer. You see in the middle I shared with you a little red light, green light. I think most of us would say, 5 or 10 years ago, we thought we were a green light, or maybe even 2 years ago, we thought we were a green. But as we plan for how we're going to use this customer-centric data in the future, we are probably beginning to see the yellow and the red because our stakeholders have changed. We've got a lot more business people involved, and that is a good thing that the business people are involved. We're trying to master and use data that comes from a lot of different domains. You'll see represented here, I talk about, the patient, the provider, the insurer. If you get outside of healthcare, you might be talking about who is the buyer or who is the consumer, what's the location of the data, and how do I master that particular location domain. So a lot of challenges in the data, and we want to be mindful as we plan our upgrade. Who is the customer that we're trying to manage data around? Where is that data, and how do we make good use of it both for today and tomorrow and build upon the past? And as the next slide shows you, the example I share with you is around creating that single view of customer or citizen data, particularly in the public sector. And whether you're in the U.S. or Canada or someplace in Europe, you'll probably see some of these types of initiatives that really become citizen-centric or resident-centric as opposed to the generic term customer. You're trying to figure out, how do I create that holistic view of citizen across the departments where that citizen data might reside today? How do I, within compliance and regulation and policy, how do I, in an agile, innovative fashion, create that citizen-centric view of data in order to use that data to more appropriately serve my citizens, to create some disruption in the way we do business so that we are, in fact, more cost-effective or more consumer engagement-oriented. So this is just but one example of a sector in our economy or in our public sector out there of how you might begin to think more broadly about how do I engage and make sure I have my business stakeholders with me as I plan my upgrade. How do I take advantage of the industry changes, this broad stakeholder group that you probably have engaged today, and what am I going to need from my EMPI or my MDM deployment in order to create trusted, governed data that people will use a bit more broadly than perhaps what they have historically, but yet I still am maintaining accuracy and trust and security and privacy. And that may mean, as Tyson already hinted, that in-kind or in-place upgrade may not be the best way to create trusted data that is fit for purpose in the future. So I turn it over to you, Jim, to take us to the reality now.
Thank you very much, Lorraine, and welcome again, everybody. Today, I'm going to be discussing MDM upgrade options and point out key IBM support sunset dates for specific MDM releases, and then describe IMT support offerings as well. But first, I want to discuss the MDM product roadmap and how it has evolved. The IBM MDM product has undergone some changes over the last few major releases. Up to and including version 9, IBM developed and sold 3 MDM products separately. Initiate Master Data Service was used primarily in healthcare and government sectors. MDM Server, primarily leveraged in financial services and insurance. And MDM Server for PIM, which stood for Product Information Management, and this was used in retail and manufacturing industries. In the 10.x release, The products were combined under a single marketing umbrella, if you will, and sold as InfoSphere MDM. Initiate became known as the registry style and was available in the standard edition. MDM Server was now called the centralized style and was available in the advanced edition. And that edition also included everything in standard edition. MDM Server for PIM was renamed to Collaborative Edition, and that was a separate edition. And there was also an Enterprise Edition that included all three. In the latest release, version 11, the platform has been re-engineered to combine previous technologies and share some common frameworks. The registry style is now referred to as virtual MDM, and the centralized style is called physical MDM. And both virtual and physical models are supported by one unified operational server. And a hybrid model is possible that leverages virtual and physical models together. Finally, Collaborative Edition is now called Collaboration Server and continues to run as a separate component. Now, taking a closer look and comparing the previous 10.x release with the current V11 release, we can see that the application architecture is now based on WebSphere Application Server. Apache Tomcat is no longer supported. All the core user applications are still available, including Inspector, Enterprise Viewer, Web Reports, and Workbench. A new application is available now called Stewardship Center, and this is used to perform enhanced data stewardship and remediation activities and workflows. But it's only available in the current release for the physical model. IBM is developing Stewardship Center for the virtual model, and it will be made available in the next release. An MDM operational server component replaces the standalone Initiate Master Data Service and separate MDM server components. Hardware requirements have been redefined by IBM. So in other words, hardware requirements for V11 have increased, and that's something to consider when planning your upgrade. New bundled software entitlements include Watson Explorer and the Information Server Suite, and also the previously bundled Business Process Manager and IBM Integration Bus, which was known as WebSphere Message Broker in 10.x, are available, among other bundled components. You can see a full list on IBM's website. Now, the Legacy Broker Suite, which a lot of customers have leveraged, is still available in version 11. But to be quite honest, that technology is quite old and it is in maintenance mode by IBM. It's a good idea to consider replacing interfaces built on the Legacy Broker Suite when planning an upgrade with other alternatives, such as IBM Integration Bus or Data Stage. Now, moving on to upgrade and optimization options at a high level. When considering an upgrade, two high-level decisions must be made. Which major release to upgrade to, and whether to upgrade in place or like for like, or optimize your environment and solution. Now, at this time, most customers are already on at least release 10.1, and it's still fully supported by IBM until April 2018. It's a very stable and robust platform and a good short-term solution. If you haven't upgraded yet, it's a quick and easy upgrade path. But most customers will be looking toward the V11 platform, and IMT recommends this path to take advantage of new capabilities for integration, governance, new software entitlements, the longest product support life cycle, and to take advantage of new business requirements or implement new business requirements. Now, to go over IBM sunset dates, some important dates here related to recent past releases. Support for 9.0 and 9.2 ended in September 2014. 9.5 and 9.7 support ended in April 2016. Support for 10.0 ends in April 2017. And support for 10.1 ends in April 2018. So some key dates to keep in mind when thinking about and planning for an upgrade to stay current with support. IBM has not yet announced sunset dates for any 11.x release. The complete list can be viewed by browsing the link on the bottom right corner of this slide. So what does it mean when a release goes out of support? Well, a couple of things. IBM will cease developing patches or hot fixes for that version of the platform. If a product defect is discovered, it will go unfixed. Also, customers on any unsupported platform will be unable to submit related service requests to IBM. This may disrupt business operations, and it's best to be avoided. However, IMT offers flexible support options that can help for situations like these, and we'll hear about those a little later. New MDM installation options have recently become available. In addition to traditional on-premise installation, where customers are responsible for procuring hardware, installing the hardware and software, and performing ongoing maintenance, new MDM installation options including Cloud MDM and a pre-built MDM appliance can also be leveraged. Cloud MDM licensing eliminates the need for upfront infrastructure investment and the continued investment in the hardware lifecycle. It's based on a subscription fee model and comes in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large, depending on anticipated system transaction volumes. There is a process to convert traditional MDM licenses, which most customers have, to a Cloud MDM subscription, taking full advantage of cloud features without losing any of the traditional entitlements and support. And to point out, for a limited time, under your current IBM maintenance, IBM is offering a free 1-year trial of a cloud environment. So you can keep running your existing on-premise solution, and you can have a cloud environment available, test it out, kick the tires, and give it a trial run for 1 year. And finally, IMT has developed an MDM appliance called Master ID. And this is a pre-configured server that drops right into your data center. Preloaded and pre-configured, supported and remotely managed by IMT. It's a very attractive option for small to medium-sized implementations. It provides a 3-year total cost of ownership with one low upfront price that includes everything you need: licensing, installation, configuration, integration, training, and support. Now back to the question of, should you decide to perform a like-for-like software upgrade, using in the analogy of buying a newer model year car, or couple a software upgrade with an MDM optimization, similar to buying a new car, but also adding performance features to it, nicer aesthetics, and enhanced capabilities. A like-for-like upgrade is less intrusive, and can leverage your existing hardware. It has a shorter duration. Your existing configuration is upgraded to the new version and can have a lower cost. Upgrade without extending beyond your current scope. But you're limited to just that. An MDM optimization, however, assesses your current configuration for opportunities to increase performance, accuracy in data, and leverage new features to take advantage of new business opportunities. It extends your MDM capabilities by tailoring your environment to meet growing needs, especially for those organizations that have seen significant data growth, either organically or by adding new sources or through a merger or partnership with another organization. Perhaps new MDM business requirements have recently emerged or are on the horizon that were not accounted for in the original solution design. IMT has developed new methods to perform optimizations quickly and easily without significant added cost. You will hear more about that from Corinne a little later in today's session. Now, to cover some of the IMT support offerings that we have, we offer a variety of support coverage for MDM. We're an authorized IBM support vendor with certified people, and if we are your implementation vendor, there's a distinct advantage to having IMT support your solution. We know your environment, your people, and your business needs. We offer competitive rates and are responsive and can tailor support coverage according to your needs. Some of our options include flexible terms, 1-year, 2-year, or multi-year contracts are available, 24/7 coverage, or just 8/5 regular business hour coverage if that's all you need. Operational maintenance support to keep the system running and resolve any discovered issues with the product, interfaces, configuration, or any custom-built logic. And application management services to assist with minor changes without requiring a separate services order. Examples include minor changes such as configuration of new attributes, composite views, or development of custom reports, but it's not limited to that. If for whatever reason your organization is not ready to upgrade before the IBM sunset date, and IBM support will lapse, not to worry, IBM offers extended support for legacy MDM versions that allowed for continued access to support. Once you are ready and have upgraded to a newer version, your IBM support will resume. Final point, and to reiterate a little, our knowledge of customer MDM environments and our flexible terms mean IMT offerings are a good add-on to the standard IBM subscription and support coverage. Thank you very much, and now over to Corinne Blair, who will discuss more in detail IMT's optimization offerings.
Thanks, Jim, and again, welcome everybody. I'm going to provide a high-level overview on the consultative services developed by IMT to assess, improve, and optimize your current configuration, as well as address the quality of data in your hub. So who should really consider these optimization services? Well, typically those organizations that have experienced significant data growth, those organizations that have expanded or are in the process of expanding, or if your organization is undergoing policy change or has new requirements, or organizations that have been running MDM for a very long time without a configuration change, and that's something Jim had spoke about a few minutes ago. IMT offers 4 different types of optimization services. These services will provide your MDM team professional and technical services, expertise, tools and best practices that help you intelligently achieve optimal performance, improve data accuracy, and the opportunity to leverage the new features of MDM. And I will use the term MDM versus EMPI or client registry interchangeably within this presentation. IMT's data quality review services provide data quality insights into your MDM data, such as understanding your threshold settings and other MDM configurations to identify issues and improve the quality of your data. The MDM Health Check is a detailed analysis into the health of your MDM implementation. It is an activity that gets into the performance of MDM to better understand your algorithm and how it is performing. This is less about the data and more about the configuration in the MDM Health Check. Data governance, strategy, and planning. We will assist to operationalize or optimize your MDM data governance and stewardship program and provide strategic approaches to ensure data is appropriately governed to support your business needs. And active integration. We had a session a couple of weeks ago about active integration. It also is a tool to assist with the optimization of your registration processes to ensure that you positively identify your clients at point of presentation and reduce the creation of duplicates. With the high complexity and never-ending facets to the data, data analytics is being used to better gain insights into the various sources of your data. IMT's Data Quality Review Program offers actionable client insights into several facets of your data. We can perform a tuple analysis, which is a strategy developed by IMT to examine the quality of record matches within your MDM environment. We actually can come back and provide an analysis of all your auto links and clerical review thresholds in order to reduce false positive rates, false negative rates, and the number of manual tasks such as duplicates and linkages. We also can assist in analyzing the false positive scenarios related to twins, babies, juniors, seniors, and family member records, with the ability to apply or modify your false positive filter and or algorithm to mitigate these related false positive scenarios. Extreme high value. We also can perform a record comparison of matches between existing weights and new generated weights. We also can provide an impact assessment on introducing additional attributes into your MDM system, as well as attribute validity, which is really assessing how well your attributes are populated and their validity. We can also provide insights of patient or client shared records across your systems through an assessment of source system overlaps, as well as look at the score distribution, which really assesses the assigned score based on the task distribution. MDM Health Check. Well, MDM Health Check validates the health of your MDM algorithm and performance of the MDM engine. So since performance is directly linked to the configuration and data, IMT can perform a detailed analysis on all of these MDM components to ensure optimal MDM performance. As previously mentioned, IMT's data quality review services, and specifically the tuple analysis, which is really just a collection of record matches, can be performed on the data to efficiently analyze the quality of data for improvements as well as algorithm adjustments. So for those of you that have not had a review of your algorithm or configuration changes of high value. So all of these activities will provide actionable insights into the health of your MDM environment. Infrastructure Health Check. So IMT offers an infrastructure health check, which is really just an optimization service to help you optimize your MDM infrastructure, applications, and service management. Similar to the MDM Health Check, we would review the key components of MDM infrastructure to identify gaps, deliver any recommendations, and provide expert support so you can prepare the MDM infrastructure for change or effectively manage your change and increase your team's self-sufficiency by reducing operating costs and improve the return on your investment. For MDM Hub performance, we can perform a deep dive that includes the optimization and tuning of the hub to increase the performance, which ultimately will enhance your end user experience. Other key components that we have that can impact the overall performance in MDM is legacy brokers, which Jim talked about earlier, and the queue processing, entity management performance, and missing database index, all which we can provide professional services to identify, improve, and make a recommendation for remediation. Optimize your data governance program. IMT can come in and evaluate your existing data governance program, benchmarking current policies and procedures against industry best practice and standards to promote widespread success with your MDM environment. We would prepare a report of findings, include recommendations and enhancements to your current program, or even options or recommendations for change that would refine your data stewardship processes that require optimization. For those that don't have an established data governance and stewardship program, IMT can assist to define and operationalize your data governance and stewardship framework. Such things as define and establish data stewardship roles, functions, and responsibilities, define task management processes such as resolve duplicates, linkages, etc., and define and establish the process to remediate data quality issues from the source. Resolve ID. So Resolve ID, IMT's developed this tool to optimize your registration process by using the actual MDM search algorithm to resolve the identity of a patient in real time. Resolve ID actually enhances the registration process by providing the registrar with accurate and most current information about the patient. And it allows the organization to use their existing registration systems, but totally integrates it into the environment so that you can have the common use of a search screen, a common robust tool across your organization, and the implementation of standardized data elements and attributes at point of service. We have proven metrics that Resolve ID has reduced patient duplication and errors by leveraging the MDM state-of-the-art probabilistic search algorithm and matching capabilities. The registrar actually has also the ability to register new patients by leveraging the data from another facility or health network, which means you don't have to rekey the information into your system. And that's a high cost savings in time. So thanks, everyone, and back to Tyson to open the floor for questions and wrap up the session. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Corinne. I want to talk to everyone a little bit about some takeaways from today's presentation. So number one, start planning. If you're still on a legacy version of the MDM platform, whether that's version 10 or 10.1, start planning. April 2018 is going to be here very soon. And so if you need some help looking at how you need to plan for that, we would love to be able to help you out with that. Also, remember things like timing, budget, and resources as well. One of the things that's a little bit different about the version 11 platform, as Jim noted, was the addition of the WebSphere application server component. That does have some different hardware requirements than what legacy Initiate MDM did. So certainly the hardware that it goes on may need a little bit more memory, may need a little bit more RAM. The footprint is definitely different. Also, you want to consider expanded use cases of your MDM or EMPI data. One of the things that we have found is that our clients that take that step to go from passive integration to active integration really get the best return on their investment. Now, when I say passive integration versus active integration, that's really talking about looking up and leveraging your MDM data at the point that you're creating new records. So whether that's a new patient, when a new patient comes to check into a hospital and we say, do we know you? Let's check first with active integration to look them up at the EMPI or MDM level. The same thing would be true with a customer. It's one thing to master the list once the list has already been created, but to avoid creating duplicates is really going to give you real value. Next, use this opportunity to advance your data governance goals. One of the things that Corinne does in her role here at IMT is she helps work with our clients that are just beginning their data governance journey to understand how we can bake in the processes for data governance so that they're just natural to what you're doing and built into the applications. Data governance is so important. Making sure that we're using our data appropriately, making sure that different systems are communicating clearly and consistently is extremely important. And taking that data governance into consideration is really going to serve you well. Also, consider opportunities for innovation and disruption, like Lorraine had mentioned. Shake things up. Look at ways that you can leverage MDM in your environment to help provide real value. Your marketing team might not realize that you have an EMPI or MDM solution that gives you a single list of your customer base or patient base. You may want to look at ways that you can extend into like a patient portal or a customer portal. MDM is the place to start because you've already got that single list. And of course, explore options for optimizing your MDM. If you've sat there in the past and thought, man, I really like what the EMPI is doing, or I really like what our MDM solution is doing, but it'd be great if it could do this. Well, chances are with the changes that have come through over the last couple of years, things like the addition of licensing for workflow management, we had a client that told us we'd really like it if we could do a two-step approval on resolving tasks. Well, we were able to generate that with the new tools that are capable with the version 11 platform. So that being said, please reach out to us. If you email us at info@imt.ca, or you can go straight to our website, www.imt.ca/contact-us, which is a link that's up there at the top of the screen. Here, one last little bit is our next webinar, Mastering Patient Consent, is going to be on Wednesday, December the 14th. During that session, we're going to review the key challenges and opportunities for how you manage and audit enterprise-wide patient consent for patient information sharing. If that's something that would be of interest to you, be on the lookout in the next few weeks for invitations going out for that. Also, when we get into the new year in 2017, our first webinar up for the first quarter is going to be managing orders and results, and we're going to talk about how we can make the process of when lab orders or prescription orders are sent out, understanding when those orders have been fulfilled, as well as when the results come through, and making sure that those attributions go back to the correct provider are all a part of a manageable workflow that's going to support you. So we'll talk about our OQM product and how we can manage that. So on behalf of IMT and on behalf of our panelists today, thank you again so much for joining us.